Hey everyone, and welcome to episode number 159 of the Unknown Games podcast. I'm your host Adrian, and join with me today, as always, I've got my boy Root24, aka Alex, aka switch both of those and you'll get his real name.
What do you mean?
You just swap it around somehow.
Root24 and Alex?
Yeah.
Well, you just it's a anagram or something. Not anagram. What's it called? A pound? Not a pound. Anagram.
It's just like an anagram, you know. Anyways,
sure. Yeah, it is. It's true. Yeah, if you take all the letters and numbers in Root24 and Alex, and you can figure it out. My real name's in there, including the numbers actually.
And that's some high level thinking right there. Some big brain thinking right there, everyone. So
Yeah.
you put that together, you get his real name, and you send it to us and let us know what it is. We want to know.
Yeah,
just put it in the comments.
Yeah, it's the Arabic numbers as well, like 2, 4. Like you gotta.
There you go.
Figure that. Yeah.
Well, if you're looking on YouTube, thanks for watching on YouTube, and go ahead, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support. And if you're listening on any of the audio services, Spotify, Google Play Podcast, Apple, all the wonderful places, go ahead, leave a review. 5 stars review. We appreciate it as always, because today we're going to be talking about the Pokemon Day announcements for, Pokemon Day 2023. Not like a crazy, like gangbuster, like, oh my goodness, jaw-dropping announcements, but they were still pretty good overall.
Let's just get right to business immediately. Let's just start off with, what would you rate this? What would you rate the event out of 10?
What would I rate the event out of 10?
Well, not the event. It's not an event per se, but the announcement, the stream, the recorded live stream. What's your rating right now?
Honestly, I mean, with the animatronic and or CG Pikachu in the background,
fucking, the Nightmare Pikachu. Yeah.
Yo, I love that Nightmare Pikachu. But if I have to give it a rating, I thought it was like a solid 8.
Oh, really?
I thought it was like, for me, I thought it was an 8, maybe a 7. Like I could see 7 or 8, but I think some of the announcements, if you are a fan, might have been pretty cool. I think for me, the biggest one was like, oh, okay, like, Worlds is in Japan this year in Yokohama, and like I can go to that. Like I can
check it out. We could do a vlog.
We could.
Yeah.
That and Evo. Like lots of cool events this year.
That's true.
For us.
True, yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, what about you? What would you rate the event?
Oh, like 6.
6.
I'll tell you what, dude. Okay, number one, for starters, I forgot about it. Even I was on YouTube and just dicking around on the internet. And then how YouTube recommends videos in the top row.
Oh yeah, like the note,
Yeah. I'm not even subscribed to the Pokemon channel actually, I think. And then there's the top video was just Pokemon Day, and I was like, oh shit, and I was late by 20 minutes, so I basically just caught the last 2 things
of it. Yeah, and
yeah,
you probably got the best parts of it, honestly.
Pertaining to you, the big thing. I got the big announcement, really. So
yeah. I mean, I guess we can. Do you want to start should we start at the end and work our way to the smaller stuff, or you want to just
okay? Yeah, sure. So basically, the thing that they save for last, the best for last, is something that not everyone. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Was something that everyone kind of expected they would announce, I think, and that is DLC for Scarlet and Violet. I mean, I saw this coming. Sword and Shield had DLC, so it seemed to reason that we would get DLC for Scarlet Violet, right?
Right. Makes sense.
So basically, the DLC is coming out later this year. It's actually split into 2 parts. It's basically called The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. And part 1, which is called the Teal Mask, that comes out in fall 2023. There's no date, no month or anything like that. It just says fall 2023. So I'm expecting October or something like that. And then later on, same year, winter 2023 is part 2. It's called the Indigo Disc, and both DLCs will feature different story arcs, have their own legendary that you can capture, and that's it. I think pre-orders are live right now. You can go ahead and pre-order them. And just put your money down. But that's it. That's a DLC announcement. There's a trailer. I don't know. What do you think? You probably saw the trailer.
Yeah.
You didn't even play Pokemon, so. But
no.
What do you think?
I mean, honestly, I thought it was for me, when I thought about announcements that they were going to make, I know, I was watching with Ed and who was talking about DLC is going to be there, which should be pretty cool. And then, in the trailer, I thought I saw, because it was this Japanese, old festival kind of
It did
place.
look like a Japanese festival, right?
I thought like I had a feeling like, oh, is this like Legends 2 something like that before they started out with the, hey, here's some
Like the festival, right?
yeah, and before that
Mm.
announcement, it was like the raid Pokemon. They made that seem like, oh, here's the DLC. Here's like some things that we're adding to Scarlet and Violet. So when I saw this and I saw like the kind of old school Japan festival thought, I was like, oh, maybe this is like Legends 2 sneak peek. Like it's far off. Who knows? But when I got to what it actually is, it looks fine. I kind of like the art direction or for the characters, the character designs,
For
the theme.
for the Japanese part of it.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually kind of digging that. I thought that for part 2, I thought was just like, okay, these characters look really colorful and really cool. Um, Definitely hits me with like that anime flavor from like the TV series a little bit.
Yeah, so part 1 is going to be that Japanese area. They said it's outside of the Paldea region, so I guess it's like a new region. I think they said it's a new region. It's not anything that has been in previous games. So it's not Hoenn. It's not I can't think of the region from Black and White right now, but it's not Kalos. It's not any of the regions that were in all the older
Like
games. I think it's a brand new region. Yeah.
He's something. I have to look it up, but yeah, I think it is a new region.
It's Kitakami, which is
Kitakami,
a
okay.
Japanese, by the way, for North God. But yeah,
I mean, the whole
interesting.
premise is that you are apparently going on a school trip from.
It's a school trip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice school trip. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I would love to do that as a kid, but yeah. And then the DLC part 2 will be in a different like area. What is it? It's like what is it? The second part is like you go on an exchange trip, I think they said.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's it. That's cool. So it's 2 different regions, I think. We'll be able to take a look at that this year, right?
Mhm.
Sometime.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, aside from the DLC having new Pokemon to capture, like the new legendaries and new areas to explore, I think for more hardcore players, it would probably also mean the re-inclusion of certain Pokemon into the mainline games. Are you familiar with a term called Dexit at all, or no?
Was this a big deal around? Was it Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I kind of remember like the whole thing. Like they didn't include them for whatever reason,
right?
And yeah,
right.
Explain it. Definitely explain it.
Okay, well, when Sword and Shield came out, just right before the game came out, it was revealed that all the Pokemon were not going to be in the game. Like, there was no way to transfer certain Pokemon into Sword and Shield, which at the time was a new thing for this series. One of the hallmarks of the Pokemon series is being able to take your Pokemon, your collection, I guess, with you from gen to gen. So you'd always be able, up until now, somehow be able to have all the Pokemon in a single game. Either you capture them in the game or you trade them in or somehow or whatever, right? So before Sword and Shield came out, basically it was revealed that you couldn't, like, I don't know, you couldn't, like, some Pokemon were locked out. They just were not in the game. The data was not in the game. It was impossible to bring them in. And a lot of fans on certain parts of the internet were pretty upset. They were calling it Dexit because that was around when Brexit was like a thing.
When that was a thing. I mean, it was a big deal. I mean, a lot of people really got upset with it.
But Sword and Shield got DLC, and when the DLC came out, they actually kind of reintroduced certain Pokemon via the DLC. Like, like now you can have these Pokemon if you have the DLC. So I think with the Scarlet Violet DLC, this will also mean that you can certain Pokemon that aren't in the game right now will be introduced into the game via the DLC. You can either the data will be added and you can transfer them in if you have them at home or something like that, or you can just capture them in the game. So I don't know. Obviously, we don't know what Pokemon. Yeah, we don't know what Pokemon are going to be like added. I actually, off the top of my head, I don't even know what Pokemon currently aren't available on Scarlet Violet. You can probably bring it up real fast on internet search or something like that. But there is some Pokemon that, as of right now, cannot be brought into Scarlet Violet at all. And I think like one of them is like the black white starters. I think there is a starter set that just cannot be brought into the current games.
Yeah, hopefully they'll allow them to be brought in with the DLC. It kind of stinks because, like you said, you want to bring your whole Pokedex with you. And I mean, for what they kind of are doing with Sleep and Go and all, how everything is linked together with, I think, was it Pokemon Home as well? Like everything is linked in this ecosystem. It does make more sense that, hey, all your Pokemon should always be in every game. You know, you should be able to recatch them or, you know, transfer them. That should be a thing. So hopefully that'll happen. The other thing that they announced along with this were the new Paradox Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet, Walking Wake.
The raids, yeah, those are live right now. By the way, it's not part of the DLC, but yeah, go ahead. You want to talk about that a bit? But the new raids.
Yeah. It looks like it's Walking Wake, which is that Suicune, like
Suicune, yeah, it does look like a Suicune. Yeah, it's like a fucked up Suicune, yeah, for sure.
I was seeing some fan art and people were like, "Oh, dude, this thing is amazing. I love it. I love it."
It's like a T-Rex looking Suicune, basically, right?
It's like a T-Rex looking Suicune. I thought I was like, "Oh, it's Suicune," but yeah. So that's one of the Pokemon that you can raid. That, like Root was saying, or Alex was saying, it's out now. And then there's also Iron Leaves, which looks like a deer.
Right.
It's going to be in Violet.
So Walking Wake looks like Suicune, one of the legendaries from Gold and Silver and Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Iron Leaves looks like one of the legendaries from.
Like that dude's escaping my name, but I know. Hold up, let me see what it is.
Virizion. Am I pronouncing that right? It's Virizion in Japanese. But yeah, he's a legendary from Gen 5, so that would be that's black and white.
Yep.
It really looks like
correct.
him. If you just bring that up on screen.
It looks like him.
It's very similar, yeah.
Like it's so similar that I was like, is that just not him in some weird form? Like just
it really is
evolution?
So similar to Virizion that it's kind of sad. Because Walking Wake looks like a pretty cool kind of what's the word, like a
take on
like Suicune. Like it looks like I don't know, like he looks kind of like feral, I guess, like more bestial, right?
He does look more like beast-like, but then
yeah,
I guess Homeboy looks more mechanical like you can tell you can see the iron, of course, but more like so mecha. There we go. More
right. Well, you haven't played Scarlet Violet so far, right? At all?
No.
So the future Paradox Pokemon, it is a recurring theme with all the Paradox Pokemon. Like they kind of just look like mechanical Pokemon. Like that's all of them look like that.
Okay.
But I mean, I know where you're coming from, and I agree with you. I think the design's a little too boring. It's too similar. It's not to me. It's not exciting. It's just like, eh.
I mean, and you know, some could say maybe for you, I don't know, since this was kind of like a 6 on your scale, or I think you said, maybe that's what it kind of is. Like for me, when I was looking at all these announcements, I was like, Pokemon is now just Apple. Right, they're selling me the next.
Oh,
iPhone.
You mean it's like it's really iterative? It's just it's not like big leaps.
Yeah, it's kind of like iterative now, and you know, but they are definitely taking chances. And I'm for anyone who's wondering, I like playing the spin-off stuff, like even Pokemon Cafe Mix, which has some DLC.
I think they got some announcement.
Yeah, it got like a little small announcement, which has I think a Greninja chef skin is in there. And who else is in there? Oh, they're adding Sprigito, Quaxley, and Fue Coco. I love how Polygon. I'm going to shout out. You put Due Coco on here, but Fue Coco, they're going to be in the game now too. Which it's a fun little concept. It's light, So I'm in that area in terms of my relationship with Pokemon.
So you're like a super casual Pokemon fan then? Like you're not I'm playing the main games,
Yeah, I don't play the main games, but I'm at 600 plus hours or 660 in Pokemon Unite.
That's so many? It's
gross. A lot. It's sick.
Why?
When I saw it, I was like, this can't be right. I don't have 600.
Do you play every day?
I play like 5 or 6 matches a day.
Every day? You're playing Pokemon
I've played every
Unite.
day, except for like maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I play every day.
That's like me in Apex. That's insane.
It became, but the thing is I stopped playing Apex. It basically became my Apex.
It's like you. Oh my god, so funny.
It became Apex for me. But now Zacian is in the in Pokemon Unite, and that was their announcement. Which honestly, if you want to go play it right now, the dude is broken as heck. I heard he's unbalanced in the actual games, but this dude is so broke he can just maul a whole team by himself.
That's so fun, and you can just everyone has them. Like you don't have to earn them.
Well, here's the thing: like normally you have to earn them, but and in this case you do. They have like a little event. You know, it's a collector track. It's a collection track. However, you can pay to skip the collection track.
Okay, and yeah, sure.
Yeah, people are paying to skip it, and here's the most annoying thing, and I'll see if I can. bring him up on screen really quick, is that they're allowing him in ranked, but he was not on like the public test server. So whenever you go against, like the first day we went against this dude, no one knew what he did.
Okay.
This was like if you played Apex and you're playing against a legend, you don't even know what the moves. You don't even know what their tactical is. You're just going.
Yeah. So like there was like there's like no trailer for him or anything. It's just he's just in the game. Yeah.
They saved the trailer and everything for Pokemon Day for the presents to go alongside of it. And like I said, since he wasn't on the test server or anything, this dude is so busted that he just crits.
It's so funny that you play so much Pokemon Unite, but I have no idea how the game. You should stream. You should just stream. You should be a Pokemon Unite streamer.
Pokemon Unite
like
streamer?
Honestly, yeah, no, because like I don't know anything about this video game. Like I just.
It's fun. I mean, it has its moments where you want the devs to do a little bit better, or in this case, I'm blaming Pokemon Company for like, hey, don't release this trailer until this day, or don't put him on the the public test servers. Hopefully, he gets hot fixed really quickly, just because, like I said, he's a cool mechanics wise. He's pretty cool. He takes the Aos energy, and you can convert that to use a special move, and then you can stun, and then they use the Pokemon's moves in the game, so it's just translated.
It's cool to see them kind of like interact in a different way from the turn-based video games, right? It's just okay.
Yeah.
You honestly, man, do other patch notes like on Pokemon Unite, like on the website or something like that?
It's so here's the thing. Me and my friend, we laugh about these patch notes. Now they're slightly better. Like I can go and show you the patch notes.
Were they like really generic?
They were bad.
Descriptive.
And it's to the point where they have a new producer. After year one, they got a new producer, and the first thing we saw was like a letter from the producer, and we were like, oh snap, the dev team is actually like someone's trying to talk to us. Holy crap. It was on that level where they don't have communication going out. They the other thing that was unfortunate is like, their patch notes were like, so said Pokemon, tune balance, attack up,
that's such a common thing.
Down.
Yeah, I really think that's like a Japanese video developer kind of mindset about patch notes. I've seen that before, not just Pokemon Unite, but I just other video games made by Japanese developers, and it's just like change balance or like change or tweaks this, and I'm like, how change it? How like a lot of people like we want to know we care about
right
that.
here it's like Sableye,
prankster
effects on the user weakened, duration on effects of the user decreased, and so what the new producer did was he kind of added like this is an older patch notes, but he added like, we felt that Sableye was performing a little bit too much in this area. We wanted to dial it back. That's good. That's about as much as we got, and that's better than this
change balance.
I mean, literally, you have to. Everyone data mines. There's a Unite DB. If you go there, they data mine it. They'll give you the common terms and the actual numbers. But that's what I'm hoping for this game. I'm hoping, since it is part of the championship series, that this is the second year. They're definitely taking it more serious. There's a pick and ban system now in the game that's not available for everyone, but if you're doing a tournament, you can use it.
Oh, then it is. There's like tournament rules for it, right?
Yeah, because this game used to suffer so badly from mirror matches, especially in the first World Championship. Everyone had Aegislash, Serena, Blissey, and the tank. I don't even know who was the tank. Probably Blastoise? No, it was Trevenant. Trevenant was the main tank. The tree was going ham on everybody. But there were no ranged attackers like Pikachu's, Decidueye. We've got Mew in the game now. We've got a ton of Pokemon. So, I definitely wouldn't mind streaming it more because it's a fun experience.
You should just do straight up like content on YouTube of like strategies and like patch note reviews and that kind of stuff. Yeah. That'd be fun.
Shout outs to Spraggles out there and Chris Heroes. Me and my friend, we do watch, and we have put some content up back in the day, like within the first year. But I think we were too concerned about views and we stopped. But we should go back and do
that's
it.
legitimate. That's a niche right there. That's a niche. Yeah, you should do that. Like I when I was playing Titanfall when the game was still alive, God forbid. I used to watch this guy do patch notes videos because like a patch would come out and he would just like go through all the changes in the patch. Like the gun was tweaked here, like here, and record footage. Like here's how the Volt performs now. And that's very interesting. You could do that with Pokemon Unite.
It's fun. I think the thing with Pokemon Unite that separates it from other MOBAs or even Apex, right? Because it's the same concept of they have abilities. So
Yep.
Apex has two abilities, right? You got your tactical and your ult, and then
In
maybe a
ultimate, yeah.
passive or
And then
something.
a passive, yeah.
Yeah. In Pokemon, you have four abilities. So you're able to choose between one set or the other, or you can mix and match. So whenever they
I was about
balance, yeah, whenever
I was
they
about to
balance the
ask
game,
I
yeah,
was about to ask if the abilities were mapped to QWER, which is mobile controls, but I realized it's not
it's on
on
Switch. Yeah,
PC. Yeah,
it's
it's
on
on it's on,
Switch.
it's on a PC. So
But yeah, so what they do is they balance one set and they'll nerf the other set. Typically, is what happens. So it
okay.
encourages you to use one over the other, but you can still rock with whatever you want in the game. But yes, anyways, moving on, like we said, World Championships from August 11th to the 13th in Yokohama. And that's going to have, the Pokemon card game, Pokemon Unite. It's also going to have Scarlet and Violet for the video game part of it. And I don't know
Yep.
if Pokemon Go is coming back.
That was a weird event, honestly. When they had that last year, I was like, competitive Pokemon Go is a weird thing to me. I play Pokemon Go actually, and I've done raids and I've done battles, and
Yeah.
we talked about this last year, but I just don't think
I
it's
don't
that
know.
fun.
I don't think
I
it's
just don't think
that
it's that fun. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Um,
I'm looking it up right now. So the Pokemon World Championships are going to be held in the Pacifico Yokohama Hotel,
mhm.
which, by the way, is a very nice hotel. Extremely nice hotel. I
That's
stayed there, I believe, like for my birthday last year.
excuse me. My man said, "Hold up, it's an extremely nice hotel. It's very
Yeah,
expensive."
we
I stayed there.
spent a little bit of money. No, I'm not even kidding. Actually, yeah, like so. Um, yeah, it was okay. Because it's still the pandemic, right? So, and this is before the borders opened, like reopened to tourists. So for a while, like we were able to get really, really fancy hotel rooms for not that much money.
That's hey,
So
if you can do that, that's do it.
yeah. So we were like, do you want to stay? And we were just like staying in like nice hotels for like no real reason. So yeah, we went to this hotel for my birthday. It's really nice. So
Hey, I take that any day, any day.
yeah,
So if you want to come to Japan during that time, it's gonna be blistering hot a little bit.
it's gonna be
So
hot as balls. Yeah, it's gonna be so
enjoy
hot.
the
Yeah.
tourist part. That's going to be happening, and then of course, and we don't know much about the other reveal for the Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic, other than, I mean, did you see this trailer?
I did. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
It
Do
was
you want to lean? So, like, what is your opinion on that? So, I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen the trailer or whatever, they didn't show much. They didn't like talk a lot about details about this thing, but they did show like a concept trailer, like I don't know, like a trailer basically of like a mood trailer.
Yeah,
But
very
from what I
fancy and
can
richy.
gather about it, it's like it's the Pokemon Gen 1 TC, not Gen 1, sorry, the first expansion, the base expansion,
Yeah.
base set TCG, the Pokemon Trading Card Game. But kind of redone in a really fancy, like expensive adult kind of way, where like it's not part of the main trading card game. It's just as those cards as they were exist at that time. The stats are all the same from the base set.
Yeah.
And it's like a preset. It's like a set that comes all in one with like your playmat and I believe your damage counters, and the decks are pre-made. It's 3 pre-made decks for you.
Yeah.
And that's all. It's all it is. It's like an all-in-one set. So,
Yeah.
as someone that grew up, like I was the target demographic when the base set came out. So I'm like, that's like I really that's something that really interests me. And like I think we kind of touched on this like a little bit like in the past about people our age suddenly now having like disposable income, so we have the money to spend on things that we like kind of care about as like from our childhood. So this is basically for those kind of people where you grew up with Pokemon, you have a little bit extra money to spend on something like really fancy, right? So
Yeah. I mean, like first when I saw it, I was just like, oh, I had that card. I have that card in my closet right now. It just hits you back. Like I remember playing this on the school play, like literally the playground. We would sit on like these crappy benches and we would play Pokemon in the summer. But it's like I have experienced a little bit of this with like Magic the Gathering when they did the reprints of original cards that were previously like very expensive. Like they reprinted them and they added I think it was was it black border or a white border? Like they just touched them up, changed the border, so they're different. These have like a black back to them.
And there's like a holographic rainbow, not rainbow, but like a sparkly border around the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice, honestly. Like it's gonna be one of those things, like you said, you can play it by itself. You don't have to.
Like
those
those decks are just made for you. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
you pick them up, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, like the Magic thing. Actually, like a couple years, I think it was like 4 years ago at this point. They did exactly that for the Pokemon trading card game. They took the base set
Mm-hmm.
and they re-released them. But what they did at the time was they updated the stats of the cards to make them competitive with the current meta, the then current meta.
Okay.
So you could have like your fat Pikachu card, but it was not the same fat Pikachu card. It was like updated for the current meta.
It was updated, yeah.
Yeah. So you could use those cards in competitions. This is not that. Like these cards have not been updated and they're not legal for play in like the actual TCG.
Exactly.
Like you can't bring them to a tournament or anything like that. They're not legal. So it's definitely like an all-in-one set. You buy this thing and you have it like in your living room as like
you can play it
you can play it with like family or friends or guests or whatever. Yeah.
And I have
just a centerpiece. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I mean, if pricing is about right, it's probably about $100.
You think
for
so?
one? I think I don't believe you'll get all three in one set. I think you'll pay one for one deck. But that's contingent on if all the cards are foils. Which and, in Magic, I know that's what they did. We can kind of see it here. Like there are, like I don't know if that's a foil Charmander. That's a foil Pikachu.
So here's my idea. This is my guess. I think it's an all-in-one package with those damage counters and the playmat.
And the playmat is the box that holds everything.
And it's the box. And I think it is 3 decks. One deck centering around Venusaur, one centering on Charizard, and one centering around Blastoise.
Right.
And I think it's all in one, all 3 decks. And I think for pricing, I'm guessing it's going to be at least $200.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, they'll rock it at as high as they can, $200-$300. Because they do show the deck boxes behind the actual cards, like they're stacked. There's a deck box behind each one of them, along with the counters and everything. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I think they're going to sell a lot, and it'll be interesting to see if it's something where it's just limited, like it's a limited set in terms of.
I really think it's gonna
10,000 or something.
I definitely think it's gonna be something along those lines. Definitely like a collector's piece, I guess, like a collector's thing. And I seriously think it's gonna be minimum $200 or whatever. But is this something that interests you? Are you gonna pick this up if you have the money laying around, or are you gonna pass on it?
I'd probably pass on it, and the reason is like I don't play too many card games these days. If I could, like, there's been times when I've played card games the way I played Apex, and that's great, but I just haven't been in it to. I'd rather someone get it who's going to play it, or if someone really wants it to take up space, they can. But I don't have the space for it to take up. I mean, what about you?
I definitely think I want this because, like, for number one, it's a nostalgic factor. I grew up in that era, like when I was a kid. Like, base set Pokemon trading card game was like something that I really, really enjoyed as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And since I think it's just going to be sold in that black kind of box kind of thing, like it's definitely like a center piece, I guess, of like a home. Like it's just like, oh, I have this cool looking thing. I don't know. I guess it's like some people have like like an art piece that they have, right, as like their discussion starter.
Uh-oh.
Right.
I looked online.
What is it?
So they actually have this detailed out. Actually, what actually is in this set?
Oh yeah.
So it includes a game board that folds up to store all the items included in the Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic, a toolbox for storing stackable damage counters, poison, and burn markers, metal orbs, which we saw, and then 3 Pokemon TCG decks featuring Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, as well as newly printed cards to go alongside with the classics. 3 deck boxes featuring energy symbols matching the included Pokemon that you get. So, water, fire, grass. So yeah, it's all one.
It's all one set, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So my guess is it's like $200 some minimum, right?
Yeah, late 2023 is what they have on the website for it.
The thing is, though, is if I get this, I would want it in English. You know what I mean? Because just because
No, it's in because you're in Japan, you'd have to get.
I'm in Japan, yeah.
I mean, they might sell some of the card shops might do like some English versions of it. I mean, it's unless Pokemon Company's forbidding them to sell English cards, the English version here.
I'm seriously expecting this to be like a Pokemon Center exclusive in Japan. Like you have to go to Pokemon Center to pick this up.
That would make sense, honestly. That could make sense.
And if that's the case, there's probably very little chance you're going to be able to pick up the
English
you know what?
Version. It actually says it'll be available in the Pokemon Center and local game stores in late 2023. So
for at least for North America.
For that's a good question. This site is in English, which I forgot when I'm not streaming this, but yeah, it does not actually say Japan or not. Yeah.
What we should do is look this up in Japanese.
In Japanese.
But I mean, just in general, I'm just saying, like, I would prefer to pick this up in English just because I grew up in Canada and I didn't speak Japanese as a kid. So
yeah. My Blastoise was Japanese. I had my first Japanese card was a foil Blastoise, which I traded for this is going to sound really dumb, but I traded for in the boys' bathroom, of course the boys' bathroom, but in the bathroom. That sounds
fucking so sketch.
In like 4th grade, because like you couldn't bring cards to school. You weren't allowed to have.
Against the rules, right?
It was against the rules. So like it was like break time or something, and like it was like, yeah, man, I got the cards. I got 5 of these cards. You got your Blastoise. I got the Blastoise, and we traded, and that was like, I was like, wow. Anyways, back in the day when you'd have to trade, but via link cable too.
Oh man, bring that back.
Yeah, bring that in the magnifying glass and the light. Bring it all back.
Oh, the plug-in extension thing in your Game Boy. Yeah,
bring it all back.
All right, yeah. So that's Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic, and we did kind of touch on Cafe Mix and a little bit. They also announced like a Netflix series, right?
Yeah. You have to say it for me again. Pokemon Concierge.
It's called Pokemon Concierge, and it's a Netflix series, and it's stop motion apparently, and that's all I know. That's it.
That's all that's all you know, and that's all they said. That's the best part.
I mean, this is coming soon. Like, there's not even a date. It just is coming soon. So, like, okay, cool.
I think I don't know if 100%, but I think it's the studio that does Ridakuma, like the stop motion Ridakuma.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it looks very similar. I mean, it's stop motion, but it looks like that's the one.
Right.
But yeah, it's Pokemon coming to a hotel.
Which is cool, I guess.
And I guess, you serve Pokemon at a hotel. I don't know. But I mean, I guess the biggest one is the Pokemon Sleep, which I mean, I guess has been rumored for
It's not rumored. They announced it a while back.
Oh, they announced it? Okay. So now it's here, and it's exactly what it is. It's a sleep tracker. I don't look. It's for somebody. I don't know. Did you have any feelings about this?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be a free mobile app, right?
Yeah.
And it's free. I actually already track my sleep. So
same here. Like
yeah. So if I already check my sleep and it's a free app, I might as well I might as well get it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, might as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, honestly. And I do play Pokemon Go, and it has like some benefits with Pokemon Go. I'm not 100% sure. You do get like, I don't know if you can capture Pokemon by sleeping, and then you can transfer them over to Go or whatever. But
I think you meet certain Pokemon by their sleep type. Yeah, like whatever. Yeah. There's dozing, snoozing, and slumbering, and whatever type of sleeping you're doing is what type of Pokemon you'll encounter while you sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's all I really know about it. And well, I mean, the app, it's to encourage you to sleep a little bit better, which I think is cool. That's good. Everyone needs to sleep a little bit better, right? Yeah. I mean, sleep is important for your health to get a good night's rest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, I already check my sleep. I like Pokemon. It's probably gonna be a free app. I might as well, use it. So that's my stance on it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. They haven't said if it like I know someone in my chat was like, does this actually like work with my fitness watch or, my current other fitness gear that can it tie into it? I'm like, probably Not maybe.
Maybe we don't
They didn't
know.
say.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good question as well. Because I use an Apple Watch. I have an Apple Watch, and I use that to track my sleep. And it's fine. I don't know how to. It's fine. It tracks my sleep. Yeah,
it does what it does.
It does a pretty good job. If I could somehow like still use my Apple Watch, because I don't want to leave my phone on my bed or anything like that. I just wear my watch to bed. So if I can somehow get the data, hit the mic from my watch into Pokemon Sleep, that'd be perfect for me. If I have to put my phone on my bed, I'll try it for a couple nights. But if I hate it, I'm not going to use it, right? So
yeah, that's very true.
How do you check your sleep? Actually, do you use your phone or like what do you?
Yeah, it's actually built into the Pixel. It has its own thing as well. I did
you
have
leave
an app.
it on your bed.
I just leave it on my bed. Yeah, I leave it on my bed.
Okay.
Sometimes I forget to use to actually activate. Like I'm sleeping now, and I'll wake up in the morning. It's like, did you sleep from this hour to this hour? And it's like, yeah, no. About that. Let me dial it down by like 2 hours.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Pokemon Sleep. I think it's pretty cool. And then I think alongside Pokemon Sleep, they also announced, and this is the last thing I think they announced, is the Pokemon Go Plus accessory.
Plus.
So Pokemon Go Plus was already a thing. It existed a while back. They discontinued it. But what it was it was a physical device that connected to your phone via Bluetooth that would let you spin Pokestops and therefore get items and also catch Pokemon. Without you having to open the Pokemon Go app. So if you were you wanted to play passively, you were on your way to work or school or whatever, you could just connect this to your phone via Bluetooth. And when you open the app later, you would find you had more items, you had some extra Pokemon or that kind of stuff. So that was Pokemon Go Plus. This is just an evolution of that. The Plus has a little more functionality. It will now let you select the Pokeball that you want to use. So either Pokeball, Great Ball, or Ultra Ball. And going back to Pokemon Sleep, it also doubles as a sleep tracker. It has a speaker, and you can use it to play you some lullabies. And that's kind of cool, I guess. I'll literally never use that. I'll literally never use that function because my girlfriend would like hate it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, if you want to, I thought for my friend's kid, this would actually be pretty cool because they're really into Pokemon. And, it's also to kind of encourage you when you wake up in the morning, like to hear, something very encouraging.
Yeah, it's an alarm clock too. So ideally it's an alarm clock that you don't hate, right? It's like, I like Pokemon. It's a cool way to wake up, I guess.
Yeah. Press the button. Pikachu
I was thinking of getting this for my dad, actually, not because he like wants to track a sleep or whatever. Because my dad plays a lot of Pokemon Go, actually.
Oh, okay.
And because the device lets you catch Pokemon and spin Pokestops without you having to get your phone out, I think that'd be perfect for him as he just drives. Because when I was visiting my family, right, we were stopped at a light, and he takes his phone out, and he's like, "I gotta spin. Hold on." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
My man's over here spinning in the car. Don't they tell you not to spin in the car? Well, it's stopped.
Well, you're not supposed to play. You're not supposed to drive. Well, he stopped at a light, but I'm like, what if it turns green and you have to like drive or whatever? So I'm like, I'm just gonna, I want to get this for my dad so he can just like,
so he can play
a little safely, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, those were the announcements.
That was it.
That was it.
Pokemon Day, yeah.
That's Pokemon. So like,
Day. For me, I was a 6 because I wasn't excited about any of these, honestly.
I can feel that. Like I said, I was hoping for them to at least maybe show some key art for like Legends 2. I thought that would have been that would have, like, honestly, because like key art is almost nothing. It's just like if they have it, throw it out there, and it's like, oh, and they teased it. That's pretty cool. But there's not really any big. I think maybe the biggest announcement for them, what they were thinking, was probably Pokemon Sleep. I think that was their.
You think that was their big thing? You don't think it was the DLC?
I feel like because they had to spend a lot of time explaining it, the integrations, and like the DLC, the first part for like the raid.
Just like, here's the DLC.
Here's a raid, and then the actual part for the DLC was actually just that trailer. It was that 2-minute trailer. They left it. It was.
I feel like they had to spend a lot of time explaining Sleep though, because people would be like, "Well, what is Pokemon Sleep? Why? What are you doing?" And I feel like that's why they had to put a lot of like, "Oh, here's why you want it. Here's why like you want to download this. It's because everyone sleeps ideally, and you want to have a good sleep, I guess." Yeah, I don't know.
Masters EX was also mentioned
Oh, I forgot.
during this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Masters
was.
EX, because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
celebrating their 3rd or 4th anniversary or
It's
something.
like 3.5, I think they said.
3.5, yeah.
3.5.
So
Yeah,
they had a lot of stuff to kind of glance over and then celebrate of all of their Pokemon titles, but
sure.
of the biggest ones, yeah, it was Sleep and the DLC. Those two were and maybe the card game. That was a long trailer. That was a
I just feel like
2 minute trailer.
as something that was billed as Pokemon Day, I'm like, this is your anniversary. This is the anniversary of your franchise.
You want something like a little bit more original for them to do,
I
like
kind of
some
want something. I
like
kind of want something like a little more like, I guess, a bigger deal. Honestly, like, yeah, the next Legends game would have been really cool to see. I mean, there's some fan theories about what could next possibly be the next Legend game because based off of a legendary. This like the first one was Arceus, right? So
right.
people are like, oh, what legendary would the next game be? Was it Ho or would it be like um Celebi or any of the legendaries, right? That would be nice. I actually personally really wanted, just because I kind of like seeing these, but I actually wanted news about the next remake. So they slowly also remake the Pokemon gens. The last remake we
Yeah,
got
true.
was Diamond Pearl.
Diamond
So
Pearl.
next up is Black White. So I kind of, I actually would have, yeah, I would have loved to see acknowledgement about a Black and White remake. They didn't do that, so I don't know if it's gonna happen. Probably will happen, right? But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of thought that maybe they would have had a remake news in there too, since they do. They're not
it's a
yearly, but
TikTok
they're like
cycle,
every other
yeah,
year. Like they come out fairly regularly.
all the
Um,
time. Yeah, like we've seen remakes for all the gens so far, and it would be weird for them to skip 5, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. I guess for me, like in terms of like if for me wanting to see more would be like more behind the scenes stuff. Like kind of some interviews with some of the dev team or artist, something that was a little bit more celebratory. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
oh, for
like
Pokemon Day,
for
like, oh, it's our
Pokemon Day,
anniversary. It's
yeah, it's our
our anniversary.
anniversary.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that like stuff like that could have been kind of cool, like thrown in with these announcements. Because some of them, I guess, maybe you could have just left to social media. But it really depends on what their aim was, and in this case, maybe more promoting the products. Just celebrating like, hey, these exist now, and
I
here's the
I I,
second year of
th-
it.
I mean, if we go by just like history, we're probably gonna get. Oh, I don't know if that's true or not. I was gonna say we're probably gonna get a new Pokemon game this year, but the DLC is this year, so I don't know if they
Yeah,
would.
I don't think we can, right? Because yeah, the DLC is in fall and no winter for
In
sure.
winter, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know, man. You never
But
never
what
know with
what?
them.
Okay,
Nintendo.
okay. When did they announce Scarlet Violet? Because that
It's a good
game came out
question.
in November. Yeah. So if there are gonna be new Pokemon games this year, they probably won't even announce them until like the summer, honestly.
Then they would have to come out in the summer. Oh, sorry, no. They would come out next winter, like not
It would be
winter.
the same time as the DLC or like early January, like Legends was.
Yeah, I feel like that legend slot makes the most sense. Um,
Okay, I'm just on Wikipedia right now. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were announced as part of the Pokemon Presents presentation on February 27th, 2022. So it was on
okay.
Pokemon Day last year. It was on Pokemon Day that they announced Scarlet Violet. So here we are, 2023. No new announcements in terms of games, just DLC. So
That
I don't
makes
know if we're getting. I don't know if we're getting remakes this year.
it's kind of interesting to see what that staff is doing or will be doing after having 3 close releases all in the same time frame.
You're talking Diamond Pearl and
Arceus, Diamond, Pearl,
Arceus and Scarlet
and
Violet.
Scarlet Violet. So maybe they are giving them a little bit of time to breathe before they. I mean, they already are working on something. They have to be. So it just
They have
depends
to be
on
for sure.
what it is and where
In
you know.
I don't want
may-
to say in defense of, but I mean, the Diamond and Pearl remakes were actually outsourced to another company.
Okay.
So I don't think Game Freak really had a lot of work.
Just
They didn't touch
overseas.
it. Yeah, I think they just oversaw development basically. Game Freak did work on Arceus and Scarlet Violet, and I believe it was 2 different teams. which is
Okay.
why they were able to put them out so close
Two
together.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. As for what teams are doing the DLC, obviously we don't know, but if they're heads down on the DLC, maybe that's a good thing actually, because we know that Scarlet had a lot of technical issues, right? It could have used
Yeah.
a little more
Yeah.
time in the oven. And I do not think that the DLC can save the game technically. Like I don't think the DLC will come out and it's like, oh wow, the
Like
game's at
here's
60 frames.
here's a
Yeah.
patch. Like here it's patched plus DLC. You know.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting like a magic, like, oh wow, 60 frames. How'd you do that? Like, it's just, it's gonna be running on the same game, just with more content. So um I don't know what the other teams are doing. But
Honestly, I think we're kind of running into now finally and kind of closing this out is we're running into Switch 2. Switch
yeah, we're getting close. Yeah, the Switch came
where
out in
it's
2018, 16?
Let's see here.
2016, right?
2017.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Um so I mean, like I said, we're running into this thing where we've heard that we haven't heard of any devs with a new Switch dev kit. So
Well, yeah. I mean, they could be very
very
secret,
rare
but
or secret or whatever. But those, I feel like whatever the next Pokemon is on, I think it might be on that newer hardware, and it might take a little bit more time to cook just because of that. Like,
well, that makes me
that's
nervous.
great,
That kind of makes me nervous a little bit. I mean, that makes me a little bit nervous just because like the Switch is so old that like, how is it possible that a development team wasn't able to like fully understand the limitations of this console and make the game work around that console, right?
Yeah, which could have been time restrictions, many factors. But like you said, if we get one, I think a remake is the best shot. You said that those were out. If they're outsourced, they outsource it. They're just overseeing it. They can pop it out.
That's true.
The DLC,
yeah,
we got the DLC,
yeah.
and then that'll hold us over until Switch 2.0 and the next main line or whatever they want to do. Or Arceus
personally,
too.
Do you want remixes? I mean, you actually do. You don't even play the mainline games.
Yeah. I don't even play them. But
you don't care. You don't care.
But I mean, in terms of like looking at it from a fan's perspective, I feel like you all would want them, and it doesn't make sense that you wouldn't get them because you've had them up until now. It'd be kind of weird. So if they did that, let's say DLC into this year, fall winter, remake early next year, and then not next, but like next year's winter or something, somewhere in that time, like a proper mainline. Because I think they've been doing this thing where they kind of announce them at 3 months out, 3-4 months out, and then they kind of drop them. Maybe half.
It's about like half a year, yeah, I guess.
So maybe, who knows? Maybe next summer we hear something, or E3 does weird stuff this year for us.
I just don't know if we're gonna do a bigger announcement Pokemon wise outside of Pokemon Day. Like, do you like? They wouldn't drop it in like a Nintendo Direct, would they? Like, would they?
From what we've heard, at least on news sites about Nintendo, they don't have anything lined up after Zelda, after the Tears of the Kingdom. And I guess Pikmin. I don't know when Pikmin 4 is coming out. We've got Metroid Prime 4, and that's it. We don't know. That's all they got cooking. They're actually out of their games unless they put out something that we don't even know about.
I mean, it's possible Nintendo does this thing where they're like Nintendo Direct. What they do is they're like, hey, Nintendo Direct in 3 days, and they're like, oh shit, let me mark my calendar. And then at that Direct, they're like, this hot game comes out in 3 months. Like, oh my god, they do that all the time. So yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see how it goes. I think for a lot of publishers this year, we don't know what's coming after June, July-ish, like after FF16. I don't know what's coming after that. It's like Diablo, FF16, and
yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't know. The Square kind of fucking fired on all cylinders last year.
Which news today, and we can close this out. They're actually merging with Luminous Productions.
Yeah, I read that too. Yeah,
I was like, oh, welcome home, I guess.
Here's the thing. Actually, when I heard about that, when I saw Luminous Productions show up in the headlines, I was like, holy shit, did that game do so bad that Square is like
buying them to save them, or buying them to sell them? Like what?
I mean, to fund their NFT desire
Well, I
or
mean,
whatever.
honestly, it seems like that studio was just a tech house for them. Like they made that Luminous engine, or they helped develop it, whatever. That is what they pretty much are doing, is technical assistance. Maybe they get relegated back to that or something. I don't know. Their whole mission statement for the studio was we try to make innovative games that push technology, which is what they tried to do. Maybe a little bit too much. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Octopath came out like 2 days ago. Of course,
Yeah,
I
I did.
forgot.
I've been seeing people stream it. It looks like
Looks
more
good.
Octopath, but good.
That's Octopath. Yeah, I mean
not
that
too
was a
bad.
good thing. Octopath's a good game.
No, Ishin is out. I've seen varying people who are excited to play it, kind of playing it, not playing it, but it's the Yakuza game, so you got to really work it into your schedule anyways. Like
There's
you
a
got to
lot
set
to
that
do.
time.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So coming up, we got, I think Wulong is the next.
Wulong. Yeah, I think that's the next big game.
It's
Yeah.
the next big game coming out by the time you listen to this podcast, probably on this Friday, anyways. So there we go. Do you have anything you want to promote or say?
No, I don't know. Yeah, follow me on Twitch, please. Twitch.tv/Root24. Yeah, I don't know. I'm playing RPGs right now, so I just picked up Ys 9 last week, which is fun. Ys games are really fun. We'll probably play a little bit of that, and then I'll probably jump to what's this week? Probably next week, early next week. I might jump to more Power Wash Simulator because the FF7 DLC comes out, so I'm gonna clean some Midgar, I guess. But I don't know, pretty casual stream, mostly JRPGs. Otherwise, random stuff. Come hang out, it'll be fun.
Yep, and you can follow me at Ninja Trickster on Twitch as well. I just finished up Village. Gonna be playing the Village DLC
right
Wednesday, and then Wulong on Friday, and from Saturday Breath of the Wild. So
excellent.
Take my first steps into a Zelda and understanding what I'm doing.
Wait, you never played Zelda before? Like a Zelda game?
As a child, I did, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was like I would walk around and I would kill things, and that was it. I would not.
Which Zelda did you play?
Which one was on the Game Boy?
I mean, there's a few on the Game Boy.
Like very early, when we were
talking,
probably like 5
Game
years
Boy
old.
Color?
No,
Game Boy
like
Color?
just original Game Boy.
You're probably playing Link's Awakening, maybe.
I don't know. I know. I just remember playing it. I remember
It'd be so funny if it wasn't even a Zelda game at all.
Oh no, it was, because I would. The only thing I liked doing was charging the sword and doing like the spin.
It's probably Link's Awakening. I think.
That's what I would do, and I would just like hit the things. I'm like, why don't they die off one hit? And then I would just.
Yeah, because I'm so powerful. How do you survive a sword hit?
Yeah, that was for whatever reason, but Zelda was probably one of the first games I ever saw being played. My cousin used to play it, and I remember seeing like the opening where I guess you're like in front of the castle, and there's like it's like thundering or something.
Thunder and you're lightning? Like on the horseback.
Yeah. I remember seeing that.
That's Ocarina of Time then, right?
This should have been like an NES or something.
Oh, it could be. Oh, so Link to the Past?
Probably. Like I said, I was like 5 or 6 years old at that time. I just remember
it was probably Link to the Past then on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, he's like the only person I knew who had a game system, and that was the first. I was like, oh, this looks so cool. But yeah. Anyways, yeah.
So this will be like legitimately
this is my first foray. Game. I am literally what all the fans enjoy, not enjoy, but like all of the I guess more recent fans of Zelda. I am part of them. If I enjoy this,
I mean, I'm sure you will. I don't see why you wouldn't. You'll probably at the bare minimum, you'd be like, yeah, it was an okay game. Like, I don't think you'll walk away and be like, wow, the game sucks. You probably won't say that. So
no. I hope I don't. I hope it's fine.
Well,
should be fine.
I mean, it's possible, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll at least enjoy it mildly. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So there we go, everyone.
Cool.
We'll catch you again next week. Episode 160.
Nice. Sounds good. Well, 160. Holy shit.
Yeah, 160 of these things. We've been going for almost 3 years. Or 3 years. I can't remember.
It's a long time.
We have over 300 videos on the podcast on the channel.
That's a lot.
There's a lot.
Wow. Yeah, tell your friends, I guess.
Yeah, go tell them. Let them know.
All right.
All right. Anyways, we'll catch you all next time. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Look. It's more Pokemon. Oh, wait. There we go. More Pokemon.